We'll just go with that. We'll start off with the thumbnail. It's like you just clicked right into the video. I just wanted to quickly share with you guys the patch notes that they just dropped. I wanted to get ready for bed, but always gotta just get on the patch notes when they drop right away. Really, really big changes here. I would say right off the bat, if you just want the TLDR, is that we get some nice bonuses to tier 17 maps for regular players, which is nice. Right now, they're basically exclusively for giga, high juiced, crazy stuff. And now they are much more balanced for a stepping stone between T16 and Ubers, like they said they were. It's actually kind of crazy that they released it in the state that they did. And they have to just keep toning them into a state that they work for regular players. And I think this is a really big step forward for that. And then they also nerfed the big boy strategies. If the price of the scares and the all flames is any indicator, it looks like everyone's kind of considering that strategy is effectively pretty much dead. Really nice bonuses as well to crafting. As someone who's been doing a fair amount of the grave crafting and hating every second of doing the trading for every single corpse, I am very excited for the changes that they added here. So yeah, too long didn't watch. That's the summary right there. Better T17s for average players, nerf the big boy stuff that's dropping mirrors every single map, and better quality of life for trading. Particularly, the big one is they added corpses to the bulk section on the trade site. So I'm very, very excited for that. So yeah, let's quickly go over all the details here. All right, many modifiers that can only roll on tier 16 maps can now roll on tier 17 maps. So I'm just going to summarize this really quickly. So previously, you could only get tier 17 modifiers on tier 17 maps, and you would get 6 tier 17 modifiers. And they would be brutal, and you had to just spam chaos until you had something decent. Before, you couldn't even spam chaos. I don't know what they were thinking, but yeah, now you can spam chaos on the tier 17 map, and you will only get 1 prefix and 1 suffix of the tier 17 modifiers. The other 4 modifiers will be regular map mods. So you just get a regular, like, plus 40 elemental res instead of F you die type of tier 17 modifier. So big benefit right there. Really gonna be nice. And then for those 2 tier 17 modifiers that you get, they have enhanced modifiers that will be better drops for regular players that are not juicing it all the way to the gills. And yeah, so you get some pretty good results there. And then the really big change here is this one. Previously, what the big boys were doing with all the money and dropping mirrors every single map is they were juicing the map with hundreds and hundreds of unique monsters. They were stacking with all rogue exiles. When they got to low life at 50%, ghosts would come out, the ghosts would stack on top of each other, and then insane loot would drop. They have removed that modifier entirely and reworked it, so now it's only unique bosses are possessed, which is already a modifier that's in the game. That old farm is gone. I'm sure they're going to find something insane, but that farm is gone at least, and hopefully it reduces the insane stuff. Although I did buy a 24 Divine Headhunter today, so thank you for that. I'm just going to skip all the stuff that I think is kind of low value here. Next up is the Grave Crafting modifier that causes the crafted gem item to be corrupted, providing 50% increased chance for blah, blah, blah. Can no longer reroll the crafted item. So previously, this basically had the effect of fully corrupting the item to the point where it could also reroll the item, which totally made it not very worthwhile. You could get new implicits, but also just get a totally random, like, chaos spam item. And it released in a state that was just total trash, but now it's actually kind of interesting. Fun thing here is you can actually modify the outcome of those implicits because they have tags as well. So you can influence that. There's some really cool stuff you can do there. So I'm excited to now lean into trying to play around with this for some, like, maybe pretty high-end crafts. And then tying with the previous modifier here for the big boy juice is the All Flame Ember of Anarchy now causes a monster pack to have a single rogue exile instead of multiple. So previously it would have like 5 to 7 rogue exiles, and now it only has 1. So this 100% kills the rogue exile strategy. And then the Gemling one is only half a chance to get a unique monster instead of 100. So these 3 lines together is what's directly attacking and trying to kill the strategy that the big boys are doing. As someone who's playing Mines right now, Detonate Mines is triggered while you're moving, now grants a separate instance. I'm curious if this allows you to have more trigger automatically going off when you're moving and if you're using automation. So I'm going to try that actually first thing tomorrow morning. So previously, Veiled Orbs basically didn't drop. I think it was about a 1 in 10 chance. And now it's looking like it's going to be about a 1 in 5. So they changed it so the Veiled Orbs drops in areas level 68 and above, previously 78 and above. And now the chance from 73 to 77, different item level or area level, is 33% higher, so 1.33. And then the chance at 78 to 83 is 50% higher, so 1.33 times 1.5, which is going to give you about 2.0. So they are doubling the drop rate of Veiled Orbs, Is that going to be enough? If that gets to actually 1 out of 5 Katarinas, you know, depend on the price of the Veiled Orbs, if it goes down or if it stays about the same at 5 Divines, that could be more compelling as a farm. Now, unfortunately, the rest of killing Katarina is kind of pointless. You know, they really need to take a good hard look at Syndicate. It's overall pretty dead, but yeah, maybe that's enough to make it worth doing. But yep, that's good to know. Significantly reduce the volume of triggered war cries, etc., especially in your hideout. That's really nice. As someone who has a war cry going off right now in his build, I appreciate that a lot. I've had to turn it off actually on stream whenever I go to my hideout and I start talking to people because it's just so annoying. And then these 2 lines right here, very, very, very huge actually. Added all flame embers and filled coffins above level 80 to the bulk item exchange. We're gonna have to see what that looks like. As someone who had to do a very specific craft today, the question is, can you sort by corpse type and everything? You currently can in the regular item exchange, but in the bulk item exchange, I'm still going to want to buy like bulk eye level 80 plus construct scarce version of fire, right? Something very specific, and I'm going to want bulk of that. So my question is, like, do I get that much granularity? But regardless, even if I want to bulk buy just increased gem, no matter what, not worrying about those specific things as much, I think this was going to be a very, very big advantage. For reference right now, this is what I had to do earlier today. I actually have there's a couple nice little bug fixes in here. You can now craft an oscillating scepter when you use an experimental weapon. They fixed a bug where less than 100% AoE with Righteous Fire and Plague Bear will no longer hurt you. Currently, it would make it go inside of you and you would hurt yourself. Very interesting one here that I'm curious about building around is Vortex of Projection now being supportable by Unleash. I played my Cast and Crit Vortex last league and I really loved it. It has insane damage potential. And there's a possibility that with Unleash here, we could kind of get some really nice clear and just triggering a bunch of them. So that's the thing I'm actually interested in looking at. And then really important, fixed a bug where the Scion's hair could clip through helmets with the Beastmaster body armor. So that's really good. You just don't want to see the Scion's hair. It's, you know, really big turnoff and it, you know, ruins the whole aesthetic. So yeah, really nice that they did that. Anyway, that was the patch. You know, I'll link it below if you want to go into more detail, but those are really the high level points that I wanted to call attention to. The big farming strategy that had everyone upset, including me, I was pretty turned off at how, I don't know, broken the game was, is now being nerfed, is hundreds of mirrors being injected into the economy, dozens of mage bloods and headhunters. Is that really going to hurt it too much? No matter what, at the end of the day, we can play the game regardless of the economy. At the very worst, right? You can step back and play like semi-SSF and just play a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more slowly, and just kind of enjoy it on its own without worrying too much about the rest of the economy. I'm even thinking all the way back in Heist League when Exalts crashed like 2025 Chaos, right? We survived that. We've survived Lake of Calandra. We've survived everything. It sucks. I hear you. At the end of the day, don't let comparison be the thief of joy. This is a game that by and large is primarily a single player game. Maybe you're always thinking, hey, how do I farm more currency and get richer and all that so I can trade for things? But it can be very instructive to kind of sit back and think of how you can approach the game in a way that doesn't rely on other people. And, you know, maybe you can find a different source of joy for you there. But yeah, anyway, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed the patch notes and I'll see you guys on stream tomorrow. All right, bye.